Hello, this is Rebecca Michael. Welcome to week 4. This is our online class. I'd like to take you through a quick presentation and then I'm going to talk to you about the assignment due this week. So I'd like to start with a quick little video. This is from a conference that I went to, which is called Code Mash. It's a development conference and it's for software developers, so I thought this was appropriate for this week.
All right, good. You guys know what WAT means? WAT. Exactly. Let's talk about Ruby. In Ruby, if you reference an undefined variable, of course it name errors, as you would expect. And if you try to assign B to A with them undefined, of course it name errors, as you would expect. And what happens if you try to assign A to A with A undefined? Nil. Correct. Nil. WAT. Let's talk about Ruby. Ruby, unlike some other dynamic languages, does not have bare words, so you cannot just type words in and have strings come out, unless you define a particular method missing that does the right thing. And then if you type bare words, suddenly Ruby supports bare words. And in fact, it will even support bare words with bangs in them. And this is not deserving of WAT. This is actually a result of how awesome Ruby is. But if you ever actually do this, then WAT. Let's talk about JavaScript. Does anyone know in JavaScript what array plus array is? Well, let me ask you this first. What should array plus array be? Empty array. I would also accept type error. That is not what array plus array is. Wrong. Wrong. Array plus array is empty string. Obviously, I think that's obvious to everyone. Now, what would array plus object be? This should obviously be type error because those are completely disparate types. Does anyone know what this is? No. Close. No. Far away. It's object. Right. Nicely done. Now, of course, because this is plus, so you can flip the operands and the same thing comes out. So if we do, what? No, that's just an object. If you do object plus arrays, you get exactly the same thing, which, as you can see, you do. And finally, the only one of these that's actually true is, because you add arrays, you get empty string, that doesn't make sense. But an object plus an object is actually not a number, technically. So this one's actually right. And exactly, right? Like, what is even going on in this lab? I don't even understand what person with a brain in their head would think that any of this is a good idea. Okay. Enough making fun of languages that suck. Let's talk about JavaScript. If I say array.new 16, or just array 16, I get an array of 16 things, which it represents as 16 commas, which is obvious. And if I then join those with a string, then I get the string 16 times. This is actually the only line in this entire presentation that's reasonable. Now, if I take that string and then add a 1 to it, it interprets the 1 as, or casts the 1 to a string, and then we get WAT1 a bunch of times. Fine. Does anyone know what will happen if I subtract 1 from the string? I'm assuming no one does. I'll give you a hint. Does this help? Does anyone know? Wet man. That's all I got. Thank you, guys.
So that's a cute little funny video about software development languages, and it's fun to think about how the different software applications that you use are made, and to know that the development languages that we use to make them are also created. They're on top of many different layers so that we can kind of write them in an English way, and the machine can interpret them and give us something useful to use. But in this chapter, we're really talking about using software. So this is something that you use every day, software. You use software on your phone, you use software on your computer, you use software on your tablet. Software is also used by your car. It's used by your television. There's no real use for your device unless you have software on it to make it useful for humans. So let's talk about what is software. I think we kind of take it for granted. It's the reason that we have the PC and smartphones and tablets and everything. When the personal computer came out, it wasn't very useful unless it had software that normal people could use. So why is the name software? When you talk about a device, we're talking about hardware. And we've learned that in chapter 1 of the book. And it makes sense. It's hard, right? Die hard. All of the hard pieces that you can feel, touch, and interact with as input devices, that's hardware. But then software interprets that into something that's useful. So software is something like Instagram or Facebook or Word, Internet Explorer, so that you can get onto the internet and actually see the information that's being displayed. YouTube, iTunes, YouTube, everything. And it makes things interesting. Otherwise, you just have something that will run and take up power. So why do we love software? A lot of people are really passionate about software, and they actually program for free and make software applications for free. It's not just for profit. And people interact with software all the time, not just for business purposes, because it absolutely increases productivity when used correctly. But it entertains us. We play video games. That's software. It manages our lives. We use Google Calendar, or we use Blackboard to organize class material. And we often know just enough to kind of get by with the normal software that we use. So Word and Excel, I'm sure that everybody can open it up and type into Word and type into Excel. But there's so many pieces of those applications that we don't use every day. And then also we kind of take it for granted if we're always using certain application suites like Microsoft Office, which includes Word and Excel, that those are the only options that we have to author a document in Word or author a spreadsheet in Excel. But there's many different applications for spreadsheets, and there's many different applications for authoring documents. We have now, and I just had some problem with some software here. But we have now some free options. But we also have other pay options. Microsoft Office isn't the only player in the game. There's the Open Office suite that competes directly with Microsoft Office, and they have spreadsheet applications, and they have PowerPoint type applications, so it's presentation software, and document applications like Word, and it's absolutely free. So you have to take a look at the options that they give you and see if it's worth your money to buy Office versus using OpenOffice. There's also really cool cloud applications now and collaboration tools that are always available online so that you don't have to save your documents to a laptop or save them to a flash drive. You can just log into your account if you always have an internet connection and use things like Google Docs. If you don't know how to get into an application, there are these wizards where you can kind of walk through how to create something. And so you don't have to start from scratch. Or you can use templates to kind of set you up. And you can use the help text. A lot of people don't even look for help. But programmers put that into the application to make it easier for you to get started. Then once you know how to use it, you don't have to access help. So some main applications that you may use for fun or business includes graphics and video and audio applications. There's a lot of different players in this space. So if you want to make a mixed CD, which nobody does anymore, or if you want to edit some audio to splice some things together or to time somebody walking down the aisle to a certain song for a wedding, you would use audio applications to change your audio files. If you want to put together a video of your family's old videotapes, just put them all together, you would use some video editing software. And if you want to change a picture or make an animated GIF or make yourself look better in your Facebook post, you can use a lot of the graphics editing software. Adobe's a big player in this space, but there's a lot of other ones out there. And there's free software in this space as well. So you really have to take a look at kind of what's available and what's the standard so that everybody can look at it. The people who you want to be able to view it need to be able to view it. So anything that you use, you want to make sure that it has a file extension and any kind of file that you would view would not require a specialty $700 application to view it, that they at least have a viewer that's free out there. So there's a lot of different things that you have to take into consideration when using something to change a file. PDF obviously is the kind of standard for documents so that you can edit it in Word, or you can edit it in OpenOffice, or you can edit it in text file or anything else. But then you convert it to a PDF either using your application or through an Adobe or other application PDF converter. And then anyone with a browser can download a free plugin and they can see that PDF document. So those are the kinds of things that you want to consider. Instead of sending a Word document to someone, if you don't know that they have Microsoft Word and the version that you're using, you may want to PDF that document so that they can view it. Also, if they don't have the ability to edit your document, if you don't want to give them that ability, you have some options to lock down a file. And it's the same for graphics as documents. Now audio, you want to make sure that you use the right codec. If you hear about codec, it's really just encoding and decoding that file. So you want to make sure that when you use an application, you have a codec that is common, so that if you want to play it, you have the same codec anywhere that you want to play it, so that you're not just stuck with an audio file that can't be played on many devices. You also want to take a look at when you're downloading music. If you're downloading it through iTunes or through another application, you want to make sure that whatever device you want to play that on, or however you want to listen to that music, that you are downloading a version that can be used. Otherwise, you're going to go through some pains of converting that file. Videos and slideshows, they're great. You can have a bunch of pictures and you decide you want to do a slideshow for somebody's baby shower or for whatever event, a graduation, and you want to put those all together. You can use Windows DVD Maker. That's available if you have Windows, and if you have Windows 8, you can also use some other free software that's out there. There's a billion people who have decided to make SlideShare and video applications and allow you to use them for free. Sometimes there's a free trial, and if it's a certain length you have to upgrade, or if you want to save it you have to upgrade, so you really have to be careful when you're reading those. And then if you want to make a full movie and really edit the movie, the video file that you have, let's say from a camcorder, you want to make it easy for you to edit that. It takes a long time. And also you want to make sure that it can see the file type that you have without converting it, and that it will generate a file that can be played wherever you want to play that movie. So a great way to kind of cut through all of the different options is to go to a reputable source like CNET and look at the reviews for the different types of software. So if you just Google CNET, you can go to their website and you can search for slideshow software, and they will show you kind of the top 10 applications that are out there. Some are free, some are very expensive, and they have some information about, you know, what's good about them and what's not so great about them. So really, what I want you to do is to read Chapter 4 and think about the software that you use, the software you may take for granted, and think about the fact that somebody actually makes that. And quite often, large teams of people over years, they make it and improve it. So appreciate it. And if you have to pay for something, you are paying for a whole lot of work. And it's like anything else. If you pay for a great pair of shoes or a great laptop bag, you're going to get out of it what you've kind of put into it. Once you've done the research and you realize that this is a great product, you don't feel as bad about paying for it. But there are great options, open source and free, so that you can download it, you can use it for free. You can edit the source if you want to get into it and try to figure out what they have and kind of make it tailored to you. But just realize what the licensing agreement is, because you don't want to download and use anything that should be paid for. And the biggest thing is just to explore the application that you have. Most of the time you can't break it, and the reason why people don't learn an application is because they're afraid to break it. If an error occurs, that's bad programming, and bugs exist and you'll find them, and usually software applications that are available for you to download will have a place for you to put those bugs in, and they appreciate it when you do. So have fun with applications. You know, make sure that you're downloading them from a reputable source, and make sure that you have enough space and you're downloading them onto your personal computer, not a work computer or somebody else's computer or school computer, and explore through them. You might discover something that is great that other people haven't heard about, and then you can start putting reviews out there and really get that application moving. So that is all that I have here. I want to talk about the assignment. You have to download an application and install it in order to complete the assignment. And then you also have to have access to Microsoft Office, the spreadsheet software, Excel. You should use Excel 2013. That's what the assignment says. It will work if you use Excel 2010 as well. But a competitor, like I said, is OpenOffice to the Office suite. So if I just Google OpenOffice here, I get a couple of kind of offers, but there's openoffice.org. That usually means that that's an organization that is not a for-profit business, and Apache is a big name in that space. So I would trust this. If I didn't, then I would do a little research with the Better Business Bureau on CNET on some site where I would want to go and put in Apache OpenOffice and make sure that it's legitimate. And you'll see here that they have a couple of links if you want to learn more about it or if you just want to download it. And then they have support as well. So they have communities of people who put in some helpful tips for any users. You can also work on this development project, so you can actually help make OpenOffice better. And then they have some news and some other things. But what you'll want to do is come in here and click I want to learn more about OpenOffice. And they take you through it and take you through the people who use it. And it is amazing that this is free. So many people use it, but so many people still use Office, and that's not free through Microsoft. So you'll want to explore the differences between OpenOffice and Microsoft Office, and that is one of the goals of the assignment this week. Also, I want you to explore spreadsheet software. So once you learn a bit more about it, then you'll want to download it if you don't already have it. So you click on I want to download it, and then you will download it. It will figure out the version that you need. You just click on download. It'll start soon. And this is free software, but they accept donations. The best thing that you can do for free software is to use it and figure out where the bugs are and how it could be better, and actually post that for them. So it downloaded, it's at the bottom of my screen. You can't see that, but I'm using Chrome here. If you click on this area to get into, usually you would go into Tools or Internet Tools, but you can click on Downloads here, and you can see your page of downloads. And so you can just click on that. There's my OpenOffice download. So that's going to load up. And you'll have to be an administrator or have access to install software on the computer that you are running this on. If you don't have, it's not very large, but if you don't have a computer that you can download this on, you can try in the UC labs. Depending on the lab, you may or may not be able to download it. If you can't, shoot me an email, because we can set up a virtual environment where you can set this up. But this will run, and it will step you through a wizard and install it to the correct location. And so that's loading up. We'll go to My Start menu, and we'll go to All Programs here. And once you have it, it will show up here in your program list if you choose to put it there, and the wizard will walk you through that. So these are usually all of the applications that you would be using. So I'm sure you're familiar with clicking on something and then clicking on the actual application. So I won't make you sit here while it is trying to download and bring up the installer. I will stop the video for now, but please read Chapter 4, walk through the PowerPoint presentation from Pearson. You can either view the audio or view the PowerPoint, and complete the assignment. And if you have any problems, send me an email, or better yet, use the community inside of Blackboard and post a question in the Q&A section of the discussion board, so myself or another student can help you out. Have a great week and stay warm.